All right, everybody, welcome back. It's Finance Friday. It's me, Daniel, with VintageMagic.com, and I'm back. I'm back from Magic 30 in Las Vegas. No, I did not win money at the casino, but I won money by getting memories with our friends. And this is what this video is all about. I'm going to break down what I think was the pros and the cons and the good after going to Magic 30. Was it worth it financially? Because this is Finance Friday. We got to talk about, is it worth it financially from the perspective as a collector? All right, guys, enjoy the video. And remember, they're going to reprint this card here soon. Just wait. It's going to happen.
Vintage Magic. Game, collect, invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit VintageMagic.com.
All right, guys, welcome back. It's me, Daniel, with VintageMagic.com. And yes, I got the Sapphire badge, which I have no idea what this does with Magic 30. I got the hat, I got the swag, I got the keychain. I want to tell you guys what my experience was. It's a decently long video, so please hold on tight. You know what? I'm going to put this over here so I can see my beautiful eyes. What do you guys think? Am I getting old? Young? Comments below. Tell me. Should I grow this out to a big beard? I don't know. All right. So let's talk about some of the pros, because that's what you guys want to hear first, the positivity. This is all coming from a collector's perspective, okay? I'm also going to have a lot of vlog videos, cool stuff. Yes. Some of you already know I sold the original art for the Black Lotus painting. We're going to have videos about that, what it sold for, financial stuff. You're going to hear all about it here soon. All right, so here are some of the pros instantly that I saw. Magic 30 was a very different experience than the normal Magic, not Magic Festival, Grand Prix experience, right? It used to be called Grand Prix. Now they're called Magic Festivals, and even now it's called Magic Con. Not sure which way they're going with it, but either way, it's more of an experience. You go there, and there's these bigger, like dragons, or Urza's ship is there, the Weatherlight ship, and there's like different scenes you can play in and play Commander or different decks. You can play with cosplayers, and different celebrities are there. So that's a unique experience. They didn't do that before. Before, it was just basically a big hall of Magic players, basically geeking it out, playing Magic. It was just straightforward, right? With that, though, things to find the places was a little confusing. I'm not going to get right to negative, but that was confusing. If you wanted to find where the artists were, the vendors were, the map obviously was there, but it was filled with people. I mean, it was almost like a San Diego Comic-Con, Gen Con feel, where it was really cramped in. So it wasn't, it's different than your typical Grand Prix, where it's usually laid out much bigger. But imagine all this, fancy stuff, right? You have, this convention, it was harder to maneuver. I also like the fact that they had a larger section for like gift stuff. So this year they had huge lines, by the way, huge lines, but lots of interest for swag. Early in the past, stuff for Magic like hats, there's different jackets, different stuff, right? Pins, collectibles, things that people brought nostalgia back. Magic really went far on that. It was huge. I mean, I saw people spend thousands of dollars on this stuff. Some of it's investable, and some of it can be looked at in the future like, hey, this was Magic 30. This was the event in Las Vegas celebrating Magic's 30th anniversary. Why not get something cool and collectible and then get a couple extra and sell it later? Why not? So the lines on those were massively long sometimes, but in between like your gaming and stuff, you can get through the line quicker. Another thing I thought was really cool was the artists. While there wasn't as many as other Grand Prix or Magic events before, this actually felt, I think it was like less than 20, but it felt right still. It felt really cool. Like there was a lot of, every artist had a lot of people there in the lines. I felt like, everybody was excited to see the artists. A lot of great, just camaraderie going on, right? And also a negative on that is, well, the lines were insane. Mark Tedin's line, for example, took 2 hours plus. If you had stuff altered, maybe 4 hours. I think some guys said 6 hours. I don't know. It was insane because you have to wait there, get it altered. It took a while. So, that's the downfall of it all. But at the same time, was it worth it? Well, if you waited in line, you got the alter in the end, probably was, right? Another thing I thought that was really cool actually for Magic 30 was I felt that the larger gaming areas were really awesome, were designed really awesome. So they had like the command zone guys, Jimmy Wong, Josh Lee Kwai, and they had their little section there playing Commander. There was several hundred people watching live stream doing that. I also saw that the Magic Championships are going on, and that was using Arena, and that was going on also. The set was really awesome, just like the World Series of Poker. So I thought that was awesome. So you got different type of events, doesn't matter what level you are, where you can be entertained and watch also. There was also some areas where you can do some private gaming. So if you had extra, if you had extra time, you can go to different areas where there's extra gaming areas just to relax and chill. I thought that was cool. Also, I didn't go to the actual parties, but I heard the parties were more exclusive and, it was more catered to the VIP guests. And I heard that was pretty successful also. Obviously, this entire video is really just my takeaway on the whole event was just the pure nostalgia. It felt like a high school reunion, like we haven't seen each other for a long time. We were in COVID, for the last few years. Now it's time to see all the people that we've been talking to online in person. And that to me was the most exciting part. And by far the most impressive, best takeaway I ever had because, I was just walking through, the convention. People recognized me even with my mask on, and they want to do selfies. They want to talk about Magic, and it was just really cool. And there's a lot of people I didn't even know. I mean, they just watched the channel, really positive. Obviously, you're going to get haters anywhere, but all in all, I think that, it was a very positive event from a relationship standpoint. I also like the fact that there was gaming outside. So Vegas, it wasn't raining or anything, decent temperature around 60 or so. And the wind wasn't that bad. So you were able to sit outside with tables at the Expo Center. And it was really well, just kind of, you sit down, play games, you can drink, eat, whatever, hang out with your friends. I thought it was a really casual setup, just like, gaming should be. All right, so those are some of the positives that I had. Comment below. I want to hear about your experience and below. So now we're going to go into the cons or negative parts. So the negative part most people talked about was, are these badges even worth the money? I think this badge was like $160. And to be honest with you, the Sapphire badge, I didn't play any other of the command. I didn't play any of the games or anything, but I think personally paying $160 is a little high for the average Magic player. So let me explain something, because I come from a collector standpoint. People who are collectors are going to go there regardless. They don't care about paying the Black Lotus prices, whatever, right? Badge. I think it was like $750 for the Black Lotus badge. And by the way, if you got the Black Lotus badge, you also got 4 of the 30 anniversary edition packs for free. They gave that to you as part of your badge. But you have never known that until after the fact. So is it really, economically sound? Average Magic person, I think about it, I'm like, it's going to cost you about $1,000 to buy a badge, to play games, to buy food, to stay at a hotel in Las Vegas multiple nights. You might be a little bit less because you're, cramming all in with all your buddies. That's fine. But all in all, $1,000 is a lot of money. If you talk about spending actually money on cards and stuff, you're getting to $2,000 to $3,000 for the average Magic player. And that is a lot of money because the badge, if you think about it, becomes, 5-10% of your total costs. And you would rather what, as a Magic player, play games other than buying a badge. So I think that if they were to do this again, they should change up the badge prices to be a little bit more affordable. And so there could be more people coming to game, play, and also, most importantly, go to the vendors. See, the vendors are paying a decent amount of money to come to the show. If you didn't have a badge, you weren't actually able to come into the show. They had security lines, police, everything, So you have to make sure you had a badge. Now, Did they check the badge if you manipulated it with other people? Let's say a girlfriend or something didn't want to go to the show. No, they don't care. They don't care. There's no name on the badge. There's nothing. It just says whatever the events are, hours of play, etc. So you could have swapped badges very easily. Another downside was the masks. Oh my God, the mask thing was ridiculous. The first day, you had to basically do your medical check. And that, if you were vaccinated or not, if you got tested. And then, other days they didn't really care about it, which I thought was kind of ridiculous, because it makes no sense. But anyway, when you go to the show, I just want to be honest, when you go to the show, for those of you who actually got vaccinated and all that stuff, it didn't really matter, because there were people, even Wizards people or Wizards guests that were, part of the show, who didn't wear their masks. And I'm just like, well, I asked a few people, why didn't you wear your mask? He goes, well, they're not checking anyway. What? So you do all that shenanigans and you don't wear your mask. What is the point of the whole thing? So the mask thing was very inconsistent, very just over the top. There was some mask police people that came and told you about the mask, especially in your closed setting, like some of the playrooms. You have to wear your mask. There's people in there from Wizards and notifying you, reminding you. But I didn't think it was fair that there's a lot of people that were not wearing their masks, and then, it just didn't make any sense, right? So also there are people that I know that would have went to the event if the mask thing wasn't around. So basically you have a situation where there's lots of different people around the world, vendors, dealers, whatever, collectors, that wanted to go to the show but don't believe on the mask thing. So I think the mask thing did have some effect, but it wasn't policed correctly in my opinion. Another area, an opportunity I would say was probably the biggest this is Magic 30. There was no actual history of Magic, no breakdown of the, cool artifacts. I actually tried to notify Wizards about the Black Lotus painting. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. There was no historical thing. You would think there'd be like an area, a section where they would have a museum or some history, black and white pictures of back in the day, how we got here 30 years from then to 30 years. Nothing. I didn't see anything that was transformative, except I saw the 30th anniversary edition cards in this class holder or whatever. And it was just like, these cards are not special. I want to see the old cards and how we transformed today. That's what I think is the history, right? Didn't happen. But, they have plenty of space, but it never happened. So that, I think, was probably the greatest missed opportunity. Hands down, if you're a Wizards person, call me. I'd be happy to show you what you should have done or talk about it. Go from there. All right. The other thing I would also say is that the line formation thing was totally messed up in general. The artists, some of the vendor stuff, it just wasn't set up for success, right? In other shows, you basically had more space for the vendors. So if there was lines for buy list stuff, etc., it wasn't like crammed through the aisles and everything. I feel like there's a security risk. That's my other point, is security. You actually, even though there was great security in the front, lots of room for people to steal. Lots of people to F up your stuff, to, bump into you. Shit can happen, right? And I'm telling you, at a big show like this, I guarantee you someone must have lost something got stolen. So my fear is that I don't want that ever to happen, but it probably did. And so that was due to the fact that the setup was just so wonky. I'm not kidding. And you'll see in the vlog videos, I'll post it throughout next week and such. So hope you guys enjoy that. And the very last thing, there's a lot of things I could say about it, but I heard from several players that the value or the gaming type of packages wasn't a great value as a gamer. Now, I'm not speaking this from experience because I didn't game and play in the games, but the old school Magic game, for example, the event they had was at 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. You had to pay like $50 and you played 3 rounds. That's right. No top 8, nothing. 3 rounds. Get some prize tickets or whatever. You can buy nothing, right? Buy some more junk packs. I mean, made absolutely no sense. First off, who the hell plays old school Magic at 8 or 9 p.m. in Las Vegas for 3 rounds? There's no top 8 or anything. So a lot of players signed up for it. They didn't even play it, and it was just almost like a joke, right? And then there's other people that obviously put in other events. They felt the organization wasn't quite there. I'll let you guys put in the comments below what you felt from a player standpoint, because I didn't have the opportunity to play that much, play Commander and stuff, but we did do an old school Magic Cube draft, which I might have a little bit of video on, but it was fun to do that with our friends, and that was just free and exciting. It was fun. All right, guys. Well, anyway, that is my quick recap for Finance Friday. So is it financially worth it? So for the financial part, I just want to say this. As a collector, I don't care because I enjoy Magic. I have the resources to go. I can afford to go. For the average Magic consumer, let's say your budget's about $1,000 to $2,000. I think it's a very expensive trip. But for both cases, collector and player, I think it's fucking worth it to go. And here's my number one reason why. Ready? The relationships, the friendships, the memories. That's it. End the video, right? That's all I have to say. You know, I will say this every single time. The memories that you made in Las Vegas with your friends, meeting some of the guests, maybe Mark Rosewater, watching the beta draft. Oh, there's a beta draft, by the way. Also, if you played the modern event, that was pretty cool. I think it was like $65, $75 buy-in. Could have had a chance, right? You can watch all the other streams, the Magic Arena stuff. Cassius Marsh was there. Talia Vest was dressed up. All these different people were around, right? It really had this, like, I'm glad COVID's done. Let's all go party and have fun. And it was in Las Vegas. So, some people have asked me, there's an event called The Summit in Salt Lake City, mid-November. Check it out, The Summit. Now, it's held by another company. There's nothing to do with Wizards. And I think something Sanderson, he was a famous writer for comics and novels and fantasy novels. He'll be headlining there with lots of different artists, of Magic artists. I think it's like almost 30 artists. So more artists than the Magic con or festival in Las Vegas, this one, right? So you probably argue, be like, well, this is going to be a better event. There's more artists and there's going to be other vendors, maybe more vendors. I don't really know, right? But here's what I'd say. I'm not saying that this event for the Summit it's going to be better or whatever worse. It's different. That's all I have to say. Magic 30 is run by Wizards and Repop, right? They are the people that did Star Wars stuff, other big video media events. I don't think the show is going to be as spectacular. I think also the city, Las Vegas, is more appealing. Just saying. I'd rather go to Las Vegas than Salt Lake City. Comment below, Las Vegas or Salt Lake City. Probably Las Vegas all night long, right? But if you are a fan, right, and of art especially, you're going to want to go to the Summit because that event coming in mid-November, which I'll put a link below, I think it's really cool for people that want to go meet the artists, do altars, collect, that kind of thing, right? But back to what I said about financials. If you only have $1,000 to $2,000 to play, which one would you choose and which one would you go? I don't think the Summit I think the Summit may have tickets or not, but I don't think it has tickets. I don't think it really has tickets. But nevertheless, I'll put the link below. But regardless, choose one, right? Because having both, really difficult to happen if you don't live in a nearby area. So I would say, Magic 30 would be my first choice because of the fact that it is like a kind of a organized event from Wizards itself, right? It really was. It had a better city, right? It had the better. I just feel like it was just a better collector base, the better, base in general. Now, I'm not telling you that the Summit's going to be bad because I don't even know. It hasn't even happened yet. But I'm predicting that I don't think it's the same level of energy. And primarily, I've been to Salt Lake City before. It's not the same where you'd be like, hey, guys, let's go to the casino after. Let's go to this club. Oh, let's grab dinner together, right? Salt Lake City, shit shuts down at 9 p.m. I mean, that right there. I mean, whatever, right? So it's a different vibe. The social setting's different. And I don't know. Comment below if I'm wrong or right, whatever. But either way, I think the Summit is an event that if you are interested in art, artist proofs, etc., check that out also. I think it's really cool. Give them a shout out. Why not? All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoy the Finance Friday. Again, I think it's worth it. I think these Magic festivals are great. But for the average person who's trying to figure out, player, hey, you know, can I budget multiple events? You got to choose wisely, especially the travel and these effing badges. I hope they don't keep doing this, man. I don't keep doing this. It's going to get really pricey for people. All right, guys, take care. Have a good weekend.
Hey everyone, it's me, Daniel with VintageMagic.com. I want to share with you more about how we handle consignments. So to begin the consignment process, we actually need to start with the consultation service. In this consultation, I will determine what you're looking to do. And generally, consigners usually tell me, hey Dan, I'm looking to sell my items and maximize the value of their collection. After we determine through the consultation, I usually like to do an appraisal process. And an appraisal process in terms of a consignment is more fitted towards authenticity and valuation for current market values. From there, after a contract is crafted and signed, we will then receive the items from you. The reason why our consignment process is very thorough is we also identify cards that could be graded so then they can maximize higher dollar values. So the payment process is very simple. Once we have sold your items, you'll get an updated ledger and we will process payment for whatever form of payment you need. As a consignor, you're gonna experience our white glove service. What that means is I'm gonna personally handle your collectibles from beginning to end. And rest assured, the client that purchases your collectibles will also receive the same white glove service. It's a signature service that I really pride myself on in working closely with my clients.
Vintage Magic. Game, collect, invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit vintagemagic.com.